Julie, we're talking about the anxious patient. Is it always the patient that hasn't been to the dentist for 10 or 15 years, or it could be somebody who seems to go, but every time is a trauma for them?
You have both of those occurrences, but I find that once you have the patient, say the patient that has put off dentistry in a long time, once they establish that trust, I find that now there are no more excuses in not wanting to come, or you know that they're going to show up just because they're not afraid, and it's all about the trust.
And you know, I've found that if you can make them comfortable, they become raving fans. They tell all their friends. I had a woman several months ago who was so anxious, I needed to sedate her to do her examination. And she said to me, "I'm going to break the appointment with you." And I said to her, "You're going to pay me ahead of time." So that, you know, patients who pay you ahead of time don't have excuses. They don't have children that are sick and they can't get off from work. Somebody pays you ahead of time for the appointment, they show up.
That's
and
right.
Her husband says, "You charge her ahead of time." And it worked out great for her. I did her examination, I did her initial procedures under the same sedation, and it was a wonderful thing. She was so proud of herself that next time she came in, she brought us home-baked cookies because she said, "You know what? I can walk in the door, I'm not nervous, I don't shake, I don't get sick to my stomach," and she wanted to thank us for that. It's a wonderful thing when that happens.
Sure, it really is. As I say, for me, that's the most gratifying thing, and you're helping these people really overcome such a phobia. And
other than the helping the nervous patient, of the things that you do for the patient in your office, what's your favorite thing?
I have a tie there. I like to take patients out of pain. They come to you in pain, and to know that I've made a difference, and now they can just enjoy and carry on without having pain as an issue. And I would say the second thing would be the aesthetic joy of changing their lives. You know, enjoying their new smile, giving them more confidence.
You know, it's a big thing because it's a big change from where it used to be. You know, dentists in the past, my dad was a dentist, he used to be involved with getting people out of pain, taking care of their cavities, their decay, and gradually as his career progressed, and certainly as your career is, it's a lot of cosmetic and aesthetic procedures that you do that we didn't even dream about years ago. If I've been a periodontist about 40 years. If I had to go back and do general dentistry like you do, restorative dentistry, I'd have to go back to school for a couple of years to learn, at least to catch up on everything that you guys do every day. And it's a wonderful thing, the way you can transform smiles. And let's talk about the minimally invasive things. There's less taking away of tooth structure. It's more conservative than it used to be. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. With composite fillings, resin fillings, now with bonding techniques, this preserves a lot of tooth structure. So now the patient doesn't have to get a crown, whereas before, with only amalgam fillings, the patient would have to lose more tooth structure. But now with the bonding, which actually strengthens the tooth, this is a lot more conservative for the patient.
Yeah, you know, when I was in school, it was extension for prevention, and everything had to have a mechanical lock. Now, with the magic that you all do, you bond the material to the tooth, you take away less tooth structure. As you said, it strengthens the tooth, it's more conservative. Our goal, I think, as dentists, is to do the least treatment necessary to keep our patients in good health and function and aesthetics for a long, long time. How do you make a decision between bonding and, say, veneers?
Well, you can actually bond a veneered tooth, so it's not that you choose one over the other. But just to distinguish, veneers would be on any tooth that you could see in the smile line. So when you smile, anything that is visible, you could veneer. But if you have a tooth that's really broken down, either with decay, then in that case we would actually go to a crown in the front. But where we can become conservative, we rather do a veneer if the patient is wanting an aesthetic result.
So bonding involves attaching a material to the tooth. Veneers is like a false fingernail, a laser fingernail, and a crown, you grind away tooth structure to slip something over it, which is either bonded or cemented in place.
That's correct. But you can also distinguish that veneers are bonded to teeth as well. So when we say bondings, it can mean that you veneer or bond a veneer to a tooth, or you can, bonding is also considered as a composite filling.
Got it. Okay, well, there's a lot I still need to learn. We're going to be back in a moment. This is Dr. Kenny Levine with Health Talk. We'll see you in just a few moments. Thank you.